Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, freaks and geeks, trolls and derps alike, welcome all. I am Mullet Mike, bringing you creepy gaming. This is the series where we take a look at creepy video game moments, secrets, hidden messages, Easter eggs, and maybe even a creepypasta or two. Today's episode will be taking a look at a few scary locations in Fallout 3. Now, with all that said, there might be an accidental spoiler, so spoiler alert. Special sticky shout out to my buddies Arrow Ender, Mr. Blackhawking, and Sato Claw 123 for suggesting this episode. Be sure to check out their channels. They gave me the idea to pick a few of my favorite scary parts of Fallout 3. Now, we got a lot of Capital Wasteland to cover, so turn the lights down and the volume up as we journey into some creepy gaming. Fallout 3 was released in October 2008 for Windows, Xbox 360, and the PlayStation 3. The game was developed by Bethesda, makers of Elder Scrolls games such as Skyrim and Oblivion. The game takes place in the year 2277, 200 years after a nuclear fallout. You play as a customizable character who is raised in Vault 101, right outside of Washington, D.C. After the tutorial missions, you escape the place that you've called home, and you enter into the desolate world that is the Capital Wasteland. Fallout 3 is a free roam sandbox game, so you're free to explore any area or region you wish. On your journey throughout this extremely large open world map, you'll find a cavalcade of Easter eggs and scary locations. Well, today we're going to talk about a few of those Easter eggs and scary locations. I'm not going to go too in-depth with each one, but I kind of want to go over just a few of my favorites and what I feel to be honorable mentions. Now, don't get me wrong, Fallout 3 is a creepy enough game alone. You're in this somber, depressing world filled with scavengers, mutants, ghouls, and don't even get me started on the centaurs. There's plenty of gore and jump scares, and the game itself deals with some very mature themes. But all these things are just skin deep. There are some locations and side quests that are much scarier than others. This game goes even further and pushes the limits. There is so much to explore in the Capital Wasteland that you never know what you might stumble upon. If you search long enough, you're liable to discover the Dunwich Building. Here's the location on the map. Much like the town Hector in another Bethesda game, Oblivion, the infamous Dunwich Building was inspired by H.P. Lovecraft and his writings. Being the Stephen King of his time, H.P. Lovecraft was a self-proclaimed cosmic horror writer, probably best known for his work like The Call of Cthulhu and Herbert West Reanimator. The building itself got his name from his story, The Dunwich Horror. Some of the developers must have been really big fans. Upon entering this building, you will see this. Fuck! That gets me every time. Thank you, Vats, for being so awesome. Upon investigation, you will find that this is a flashback involving the side plot of Jamie and his father, which parallels your story of you trying to find your own father. If you end up going to the Dunwich Building for yourself, turn off the radio. I dare you. This place is crawling with feral ghouls. You hear them throughout the entire building, and no matter how many you kill, you always feel like there's another right around the corner. After searching around a bit, you'll find yourself delving deeper and deeper into this underground cave-like area. Here you will find the creepy obelisk. If you get close enough, you will hear these strange voices chanting. Throughout the building, you will find these audio journals belonging to Jamie. Remember the guy from the flashback earlier? Or he's in search of his father in this mysterious book. Now, what I'm about to do is play for you each file of this creepy subplot.
Why the hell would he come all the way out here? Dad's been a little nuts for some time now, but not like this. Leaving me in that crappy old hospital without waking me. Without a goddamn flashlight. I made enough selling the meds we scrounged to have kept us both fed at the colony for weeks. Now I'm almost out of rations, my shoes are pretty much destroyed, and I'm still chasing the old coot. By my last reckoning, he was headed south. Maybe I shouldn't have waited so damn long to start tracking him. Trail's gone cold. Gonna wander with these guys a while. They say they wander the area. Maybe somebody's seen Dad. These guys aren't who I thought they were. Jesus, they killed that family for a sack of rotten vegetables. I'm getting out of here next chance I can without catching a bullet. Hit a caravan today. Trev didn't see the kid and got popped. I took care of Tawny right then and put one in Thor before he saw her fall. That earned me some grub from the traders. Even better, they saw Dad. He was in pretty rough shape and still has the goddamn book. The trader says it gave him the creeps. Me too. But it's good to know he's still alive. Still headed south. He must have been trying to trap food here. I recognize his snares. I can make out a building on the horizon. That must be where he headed. If not, at least I get a roof tonight. Don't like the look of this place. Don't like the smell. Gives me the creeps. Don't want to risk a shot at the crows till I know what's in there. Sneaking in tonight. The raiders told spook stories about zombies in the ruins. Never saw anything like that where I come from. Lord help me. They're real. Not quite what Thor said, but close. These things look... I think they really used to be people. God help me. I found Dad today. I didn't think it was him, but... face. The zombies didn't touch him. I think he was becoming like them. Didn't know it was him until I found that old book near him. No more killing. I just need to go. Can't forget the book. All I have left of him. It's warm against the stone. I'll just rest a while. Sharp knife. Sharp knife to send him to Deep Temple. Flay and say my words. Abdul comes again on the feast of the weaker. Feast for the Deep Temple. Born again. Here. Al-Hazared. Yet.
Al-Lazarath was mentioned in the last message. Now listen to those chants again. Nice touch. Al-Lazarath was the author of the Necronomicon. This is yet another nod to H.P. Lovecraft, who has often used the Book of the Dead in many of his stories. In a DLC side quest called The Dark Heart of Blackhall, you retrieve this mysterious book. It's not referred to as the Necronomicon in the game, but rather it's called the... fuck it. I'm tired of always butchering words. There it is on the screen. That book. When you return the book to the obelisk, an epic flame shoots out of it. And then the side quest is completed. But that's about it. There's not really much closure. The strange voices continue and we don't really learn any new information. But speaking of DLC, another noteworthy location is actually a DLC add-on called Point Lookout. This downloadable content unlocks a whole new area that's supposed to be the old town of Point Lookout, Maryland. Saying that the gloomy setting is scary is an understatement. Let's go over the creepy checklist, shall we? Sketchy amusement park? Check. Atmospheric murky swampland? Check. Backward cannibalistic citizens to fill said swampland? Check. Weird baby dolls? Check. Old creepy house? Check. Ruzka the mutant circus bear? Check and double fucking check. I rest my case. Enough said. You want creepy? Go to Point Lookout. The place is littered with dead scavengers, weird dolls, and creepy homemade totems. It's really awesome. It's a great add-on, and it's just cool that this area was designed to be especially creepy. it kind of has a scary movie feel to it, much more so than the original campaign missions. Well, unless you count the vaults. Throughout the game, you will more than likely come across a vault or two, some of which are just downright terrifying. Take Vault 106 for example. Apparently the people of Vault 106 were subjected to tests involving psychoactive hallucinogens. When entering this vault, you will have a couple of deranged resident dwellers attack you. After a while, you realize that the drug is still being pumped through the ventilation system when you begin to see people of your past. The screen turns this bluish purple color, indicating that you're hallucinating. You'll see the likes of your father, your childhood friends, and even the tunnel snakes. They're hostile, so you have no choice but to kill them. This part of the game really plays with your mind. Vault 106 wasn't the only one to test on its patrons. Be sure to check out Vault 87 for a good scary location. Instead of hallucinogens, these dwellers were subjected to FEV, or Forced Evolutionary Virus, thus causing them to become super mutant. The place is filled with them, literally. With their hulking bodies and the already claustrophobic vault, they fill the room and they can cause a little bit of panic. And trust me, you'll see more gore bags than you've ever imagined. It's brutal. Oh, thanks again, Vats. But one vault that is definitely an honorable mention is Vault 112. It isn't so much scary as it is just really twisted. Through a virtual reality simulation, you're placed in a location called Tranquility Lane. The simulation appears to be a 1950s-like neighborhood prior to the nuclear fallout. Even the screen goes black and white with a film grain effect. That's just awesome. Once the simulation is started, you will be told by a little sociopathic girl to commit violent crimes against other people in Tranquility Lane. Even murder. Oh, this game just keeps getting more and more twisted. Just when you think it can't go any further, it does. This game has got balls. And that's what makes Fallout 3 such a great game. It goes where other games are afraid to go. Fallout 3 isn't just in-your-face scary, but it can affect you in many ways. Yeah, the gore factor's through the roof, but the game also has this really subtle, mind-bending creepiness to it as well. The Capital Wasteland is so complex and unpredictable, you never know what you're going to come across. You never know what direction this game will take you in, especially when your decisions are so important like they are in this game. Now, before I end it out, I feel like I have to at least mention this. Now, according to internet rumor, through a tedious series of events, you can turn Galaxy News Radio into a number station. Once tuned in, supposedly, you'll hear Three Dogs spouting out numbers in this weird monotone voice. These numbers are then followed by Morse code. When decoded, you apparently get these strange messages. Some messages are funny and lighthearted, but others are believed to be predictions, such as, "The Queen has died today. The world mourns. As on days like these, we are all Brits." And even giving the date of March 19th, 2014. I've heard other versions of this story even go as far as saying that the BP oil spill was predicted through these number stations. Creepy, and it makes for a good story, but upon further research, I couldn't really find any evidence that these number stations existed. I found this image, which is really just someone's account of the story. I don't know who the author is or where it originally came from, but this is usually what gets passed around. Bethesda has denied any claims of them being in the game. And I could be wrong, but isn't there a way to look into the game's files to see if they really exist? I mean, I'm a console gamer, so I don't know. Maybe some of you PC gamers could tell me. Or better yet, if you have hard evidence that these number stations exist, then let me know. Post a video response for all the world to see. Until then, I have to remain skeptical and say, pics or it didn't happen. Anyway, anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Creepy Gaming. I enjoyed showing you some of my personal favorite scary locations. If you got Fallout 3 and you haven't ventured to these spots yet, then check them out. You'll be in for a good scare. I want to say thank you all for all of your support, for being so patient, and being so appreciative of the series. A lot of hard work goes into making these, especially with a family and another job. Thank you for all your suggestions. I know I'm getting a certain couple suggestions more than others, but just know I can't review it if I don't have the game itself. I tell you what though, you've all been so good to me that I want to give back a little bit. So I bought this little game off eBay. Next episode of Creepy Gaming, I will be doing one of my most highly requested episodes yet. Okay, I'll give you a little hint. It's Luigi's Mansion. Stay creepy. Thanks for watching. Peace.